All right, hello, hello. Sorry, a little crazy of a morning here. Jin is homesick today, so I had to make sure that everything was like in the right spot. Kip has already taken a package of well, they were packed. They were in the container. He decided to take 50 diapers out and just throw them everywhere. So everybody's getting diapers this morning. Supposedly, according to Kip, we're all getting diapers. You start life in diapers, you end it in diapers, I guess. But according to Kip, um, yeah, I said your name. Yeah, thank you. Here, take your diaper back. Here, put this back in. Here. He's bringing me diapers now, so he must think that I'm old. Um, anyway, not tons of movement. We're seeing a little bit of dollar strength rolling back into the market, as you would expect, right? Yesterday kind of came off as you would expect. It hasn't. There's no earth shattering differences in there. Like I said, it all makes sense. They didn't say anything that I saw, and I was like, really? Um, I love this one. Yeah. Western price caps on oil have helped cut Moscow's oil revenue by 60%. Yeah. Yeah. Right there. Boom. But only billed in USD. But here's the thing. Um, it's helped cut their revenue by 60%. But what was the price of oil before? So yes, it's kind of like, this is like if you go to the beach, right? And you buy gold and you're like, "Oh my god, it's 60% and then another 30%, that's 90% off gold." It's not actually 90%, guys. It's and like things like silver, right? You end up paying like $13. You're like, "This is a steal." It's like they paid 30 cents for it. Okay? So yes, if you overinflate things and then take 60% off, that's great. It's working what we're doing. It has nothing, this price cap has nothing to do with it. They're still making more than they would have made before the whole Ukrainian situation, because of the price, and that's the only thing that you see in U.S. dollars. So you have no idea the amount of money that they're making from China and the agreements that they've made with China, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So I love when when we pat ourselves on the back on that one. Right now, besides that, news wise, there's not really a lot out there. Expectations lag. Oil for loans, Chinese energy investments in Russia. Here we go. Has housing bottomed? Nothing really kind of crazy here, right? We have our GDP number on a preliminary basis on a quarterly. It is down by a little bit, right? I mean, is 2.9 and 2.7? Yes, I know there's like billions of dollars behind that point two, but reality is, yeah, it's a little bit lower, but not much. I mean, to the same stance, is the GDP number going to stop the Fed from doing anything? Nah, I mean, I think, and if you look at the biggest stories here, I mean, you don't even see, you know, there's not even anything out here really about it, right? You're not seeing anything. It's not, again, foundational target from Williams 15 hours ago. The Fed minutes, that inflation in the last 3 months has eased, but they need to see more progress. Again, it has eased, but the most recent data actually showed that it increased a little bit. So, you know, continued type job market will contribute to upward pressure. Absolutely. All the prisms are of slowing of the rate of increases at the current juncture would be appropriate for risk. Yeah, absolutely. And what does that mean? Well, it means that do we go 0.75 now? Do we do zero point 0.5? Maybe not. Maybe we start cracking in these 0.25s, and there's nothing wrong with that. But um, you know, remain noticeable. What else we got? Among down risk unexpected. Yeah, a negative tipping in this that hasn't really happened. So again, nothing that you see. And again, I think in all honesty, the Bullards get comments yesterday were more on par, right? They were more I would say beneficial than the overall kind of statement yesterday. But if you looked at the market, particularly in some of the indices, man, talk about, you know, playing that one like a fiddle. We had that big drop down in price in the morning. It rallied back all day, right in time for that news, just to drop right back down again. So I mean, you know, you couldn't have really you couldn't have had a better you really couldn't have a better teaching lesson, right? That yes, we talk about fair markets, but there's obviously some manipulation involved with it. Whenever there's money, there's always some type of manipulation. Again, I just talked about the whole oil thing, right? They're making 60% price because we capped them, right? But is the cap higher than what they were getting for it before? Then it's still positive. Like, yeah. So, and now China getting ready to buy stuff from. It's just, yeah, yeah. Yellen, I have lost a lot of respect for Yellen and some of the comments and the things that she believes. Just, yeah, just getting crazy. But anyway, overall, dollar Swiss is the biggest mover out there. Again, we're still sitting very, very high in the curve on that one. Dollar yen, again, a little bit higher. But look at this. The euro pound, absolutely nothing at 1. Pound yen, -5. It's doing nothing in the last 24 hours, really. Doesn't mean there wasn't trading opportunities. Now, um, we're supposed to have the BOJ Gov designate, right? Speaking. And again, we've heard that he doesn't want to change anything, but we'll see. Maybe this is where the first fireworks are. And again, we could have some yen movement. And we do have core PCE price index. Now, this is an important one. This is one that the Fed does actually look at. This one does actually matter. So again, we do need to pay attention to that one. So that could be a big one tomorrow morning at 8:30. Again, then we have new home sales. And we had some disappointing data on new home sales. And then obviously revised consumer sentiment 66 is fine. And day 3 of the G20 meetings, I would expect some stuff. I would expect some headlines, right? What kind of headlines? Then we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be more about, Russia, commodities. Here's the thing, too. Just add in the commodity bit of it. We've obviously seen oil pressure come down, right? Look at our gas prices. We were talking about $5 a gallon before, right? It was insane. And now we're back down, at least in Maryland, we're back down into like the low threes, right? So, has the inflationary pressure come off of oil already anyway? Yeah. Was it the price cap of Russia that lowered the oil thing? No. So, how much of Russia's 60% of profits has been a direct byproduct of the prices of oil coming down from the 90s down into where they are now into the 70s, right? Did that price cap make our gas at the pump go lower? No. So, again, it's one of these things that it's Bubba, what was that? All right, I heard a thump, but I don't hear crying. And Jin's in there with him. How much of it is a byproduct of other things is really kind of what we're getting at. All right, so that's what we got in the next 24 hours. Let's go. Natural gas is now like, no. They try to sneak this one in on me, and now it's like, no, we're going crazy. Yeah, I'll go with market forces over government action. Yeah, Jeff, you have to, right? Again, we'll get there, but we're down in the, again, even with today's spike, we're at $73, right? Yeah. Like prices like this, even at 80, this is a 15-minute. Go back to like a daily chart. This is what we're dealing with, right? So the Russian oil price cap right here, right? This is what drove this down from the 130. So it was the Russian oil. That's why they're making less money than what they were. No, come on. It's been a trend. So it's nice to claim credit for things that have nothing to do with you, right? But hey, that's the way the world works. So VIX is down. Indices are up a little bit. Again, we took this little hit yesterday. Again, kind of expected. We saw the VIX go down. The data's out. Nothing crazy out there. It should continue to deteriorate today. There's no reason why it wouldn't be a green day today. All the news is out. There's nothing out there. The GDP down a little bit. Not big. It's still positive. It's not negative. We're not losing anything. So we'll consider to see this go push to the downside. So, again, nothing crazy here. The dollar. Now, the dollar, it's up a little bit. We knew they were going to raise it. The manipulation there was a little bit crazy. Again, right at 1,400, what did we see? Boom, a spike. They're going to raise interest rates. And what did it do? It literally ran into a top right here. Well-defined candle. Whoops, right there. That's exactly what it ran into. And then it retreated all morning. And then we got the Europeans. They sent it right back up again. And we're kind of sitting in that area right now. So, we're high in the curve. But the reality is they are going to continue to raise interest rates. So, again, no surprises, no shocks, no nothing, right? Is what it is, right? So we are in an area there where we could start seeing some dollar sell-off. And again, this is the profit taking from the European session. We've been there before. We've sold it off. But again, this was the easy kind of play. Indices all in the green. Commodities, gold and silver, they're still down a little bit, but just barely 0.04, 0.07, nothing we need to be worried about. And again, both of those could potentially be going into the green right now because if we do see a little bit of a sell-off and profit taking in the dollar back down to this 104.40, those both should kind of tick up into the green, but I wouldn't say anything monumental. Oil up, again, it's working great. We're capping them. And again, oil prices are going up, right? To $75. And 227. Man, we were going down to that, we were really going down, right? But up $4 or 4.5%, we should see a reversal probably tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow. Let's drive it further down. So let's go to the Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, right? Right now, let's see. Today is Thursday. Yesterday morning we were sitting right here, so not much movement. As you can see, price from really that 10:30 time drove up from that level. We were talking about a little bit of a Harry Potter throw. You can see it went up to the 1400 mark. It was like, yeah, listen, it drove straight up in time. It looked for this thing to turn, and it did. It dropped down, and we talked about this one going short. We didn't really get a Harry Potter entrance. Once this kind of pushed back down again, and we saw the basing, I was not expecting a short to come out of it. I was expecting kind of a retracement, but and again, we got the immediate retracement, but we're really no different than we were yesterday. What, buds? What? I'm busy for a little bit. What's up? What you want? Yeah? Here, you want these two things? Here, here, here. You take these two things. Oh, sticky stickies. Um, yeah. So I wouldn't say there's anything crazy with this one. I would say we're really stuck more in a consolidation period. You can see this one. It's kind of broke the trend. I mean, yes and no. I mean, people look at this like, oh my god, it broke the trend, go long. But it not really. It just started the base and kind of go sideways. If anything, I would say we're more channeling here. And if you wanted to draw this one, you could say, hey, listen, we got a little bit of consolidation, but nothing really major. Again, it's sideways, not trending, not a whole lot there. If you look high or low, really the first area that we've had any confirmation off of, right, is going to be up here at 68, 64. As far as the Harry Potter goes here, again, we bounced through, which was great. And then again, this was a news spike. You expect the news spike to retrace, and that would punch through. So again, it's not. Again, Harry Potters are not designed to be involved with news-based strategies, right? Um, again, if it had pulled up in time and it was there, then it's okay. But again, a Harry Potter trade, you can see one, two. Again, it blew through on number three, and now it's basing and back in there again. I'd say overall, again, I still see this one kind of turning and rolling back down again. We'll see if we can make it through the dollar sell-off here a bit. But again, was not, no entry really for that one. We can leave it there and mark it. But you can see the one, two, and three broke, and then we're basing and using again. So really, I'm looking for this to come down to 67, 66. Maybe we get, again, this is probably lining up for something tomorrow. But that's the best level up there. I'm not really interested in playing with any of these zones until we get a little bit higher up. Okay. Also yen. Also yen too. Same thing. You saw this one kind of drop to the downside. Again, we are looking for a break. No entry here. No entry here. No entry here. So again, it keeps slicing through. I'm going to remove it. We know that there's some it's kind of an area of interest, but there's not really a lot there. Again, had the Harry Potter here. If we want to adjust this to kind of play, more of the wick to near term, you can see we just did kind of have a hit and a push off of it. So again, this is with the session roll, it's an okay short. Let's see. I think it's there. Yeah, it's right there. So it's an all right level. It's already kind of bounced once and hit it again. We'll see if we can get the continued pressure down again. That's your 5:30. 5:30 time frame right there. Let's see. Last night, 3 o'clock is there. Yeah, I mean, talk about a reversal. Look at this. 3 o'clock open, 5:30 candle there, and then we push back up again, right for the 8:30 news, and now we're kind of at the 9:30 open right there, right? So, yeah, yeah, you did it. Wow, just don't put that in your mouth. You know, yeah. I'm looking at this, and again, we hit that yesterday at 10. The 14. Right now, I'm kind of looking at this as our two extremes, right? Kind of our two extreme levels. You could look at this and say, wait a second, should we go long down here at 91.80? I kind of deleted it, but there is a zone there, and we kind of got front run a little bit. And if you look at it now, this slices through all that room there. I mean, even if you just look at this, you ignore this or any of the front runs, you can see there's one, there's two, there's three. Even if you count this as only one hit, it's still a third hit, so it's a lower probability to reverse from there. Um, I think we wait for longs till we get down to the 91.44. Just looking at this. Yeah, what'd you do? Here, right here. Yeah, I'm not as comfortable taking a long off of that one. How much room do we got to go? 33. There's not a short in there. There's not enough room for a Harry Potter trade to go down, even though it is on a racetrack. Maybe if we get some basing, and this is the one also scenario. If we come down and we start to base right here, that typically is a telltale sign that sellers are kind of forming ahead of where the buyers are to be able to find an area. Maybe we look at something along these lines, right? Where we take this one and if we can get a 1 to 3 base trade there. Like I said, I don't know where the basing is going to be, but if we see a base before this zone, which is absolutely I would almost kind of expect it. You may get something along the lines where it's like this, and you can sneak a 1 to 3 in before we get down there. Probably what with the players on this one. A way to you guys are looking on like how to set alerts and come back to this one. Set yourself an alert right here. Again, we know there's going to be some buyers in there. They saved it last time. Set yourself an alert at 91.96, right? 91.96. Yeah, what are you doing? What was that? What was that? What happened? Here, take this. And again, that gives us an idea if we're going to come down and base in there. And it's one of those ones you don't want to sit there and watch it. It's like, okay, how long do I have to wait for this to come down? Set yourself an alert, get triggered, and then come back and look at it. And then every 30 minutes after that, kind of look again. We want to see, I don't know, a couple candles worth of basing in there, and then it pushing down, and it's like, okay, now you can draw your level of risk. Here, bud. Here. Ooh, right there. So, like I said, here, take this. Here, take these. Look at this. Here, look at this. Here, Daddy will do this. One second, guys. Let me do something for him real quick. Here you go, buds. There you go. The octopus. Um, Again, probably the best thing we have for the euro right now, for Aussie. So, talking about a short coming through. So, pretty easy. Again, we started hitting this, and again, we were talking about kind of a Harry Potter trade setup, and as I mentioned, here's your 1400. You can see that it rallied up the hour or two hit before time, and then boom, it came down again. Again, remember, Harry Potter, not a news-based strategy. You can see it blew right through and then retraced up again. But you could have adjusted it from that time and said, okay, there's no Harry Potter, but I'm going to erase this just so you guys can see it. We do know that there's an area right here that it pushed up to, and the sellers used that level. If you wanted to use that, you could have said, okay, well, here you go. Here's our, again, 1:30 in the morning is not the most friendly time to be able to trade it, but there was a drop in area basing and news and drove it further down, not up. So, not a bad area. Not a bad area, and it is out at this point. It wasn't a bad mover off that level. You're looking about 37 pips to the downside. And now we're just basing. And the reality is, yes, we are down 39, but you can see we're retracing in the last hour, so this is starting to deteriorate. We're coming back up in the same area. So, again, looking for that short there. It's a no-no, right? It is not a Harry Potter base. Harry Potter is not a news-based trade, but you can say, listen, we were looking to get short in here because we knew we had the setup over here. Once we had the base drop, looking for the pullback, there's your level of risk and push to the downside. So we can delete this. We can take this and run this all the way down now. We can take this area off. We don't need that anymore. I think this area is still good. We're going to keep that up top. Look at that. Now that we push down to, look at that. The 50 is literally boxing off that same level where we had sellers last time. So at this point, we kind of want this to go up and kind of smash this area again and kind of eat this up and let it grind higher. Again, a small area here, basing, hit. There's 3 hits there. We should be able to break through, and there actually may be a small little Harry Potter trade right here to the top side. Maybe a little Harry Potter there. It's going to be close, right? But I think right now, mark off on your radar, again, if you have your watch list. Again, it is Thursday. We may not be able to go those 90 pips in the next 24 hours with the news, but something like this over here, I mean, maybe. 90 pips is a lot before core PCE, but if for some reason core PC is really crappy and people are like, oh, they're not going to raise interest rates. Like if we have a big spike, like if we see this at news where it goes straight up in the air, right? That could be a potential area with a big spike that we have a reversal and a parabolic retracement move on Friday. Okay. If not, again, that could be a Sunday or Monday type trade. Here, I'll fix it for you. There you go. All right, so keep that one off. I like this 106.94. Downside wise, again, we're sitting in a racetrack. We know we don't have a lot. Again, we're dealing with this right now. Price is right here. There's not really a whole lot stopping this until 105.22. So just, be aware of that one. We got some room to run to the downside before we even hit this area. All right. Um, so yeah, there's that. Euro pound doing nothing. We drew the two sides yesterday, and look at this. We just hit it today. We barely look. From yesterday morning, we were sitting right here. Nothing. Sleeping. European session opened. A little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, right back down. So nothing. Snorefest, Euro pound, no trade set up right now. Again, hopefully with this hitting the bottom side again, we can start eating through the bottom. Yeah. So here's where, let's see. Here's where we were yesterday. And again, kind of the same thing. We knew that the yen was going to be an issue. Right. Where is it? Right there. Right there is where the news came in. We expected the yen to go down. It actually held, but here's the problem. 1, 2, kind of front run. There would be 3. Where this area, it's dead in the water. It's going to get smoked. There's no reason why. You should have trailed your stop on this one, and you can see 4s would broke through, and it did punch back up again, but that's why we're very, very cautious with the number of hits. And again, even if you count this one, this was not the first, right? 1, 2, look, 3, 4, right? You weren't holding this anymore. So most likely on this one, probably banked a little bit of profit on there, right? Had you been using an options-based play, you probably, depending on if you'd taken a stop loss or not. Remember, options is a little bit different, right? Whenever we place a trade, we put a stop loss in expecting that it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And again, some people do not mess with trades after they put them on. It's either going to work or it's not going to work because, again, they over mess with them and then cost themselves money. In this case, right, had you put a trade in, right, you can see right here, right, it did end up hitting your full profit target to the 1 to 3. So had you used an option-based strategy and said, hey, you know what? My maximum risk I can lose with options is what I got into the trade. And when it came down to here, it's not worth anything. So you wouldn't have tried to close it down and pay the money because it was already worthless. Had you held it, though, it did reach your full profit target up top. And it wasn't bad, right? I mean, again, it was about a 50-pip mover to the top side. So, yeah. And now all it's done is a retrace back down the same level. So it's not really a ton of movement. So again, take it for what it's worth. Again, it did move that entire range, but sometimes over messing with them will end up costing you. But again, not really the greatest zone where it hit it. It's going to break. Those buyers don't stay there forever. And you can see it broke through and kind of put this little group here. This is that, again, a rally, base rally. That's the group that it went off of. And which is what you expect, right? When these sellers are gone, it's going to go to the next area of sellers. Well, that's where the next area of sellers were. Feel me? Got it? Good. We out. So with it right now, we're seeing the yen strength come back in pretty much across the board. Really, the next time we're looking for a great level is the 142.46. Again, we knew that level was there, but again, we're not looking, with FOMC yesterday, you weren't looking for that one. So, yeah, got some room to run on this one. And I think up top, you can mark it off. It's not the best of levels up top either. We can put it up there, but, we got some room to run before we get there. It's, sitting about 90 pips. Room to run. No trade setup right now. I'm not interested in this zone right here. It hit it. It went pretty deep in there. It didn't go all the way, but I like the lower level. Pound. All right, so yeah. Again, we talked about it's kind of this looks the same as the Aussie over there, right? Now, this one was in the zone we were waiting for a Harry Potter trade. We said watch to see where price was. You can see price moving up, and what did price do? It went straight down. Now, as I said multiple times already today, Harry Potter, not a news-based trading strategy, so we weren't really looking for the short from there. But we knew that we were looking for it to go short. We saw a racetrack. We wanted to take advantage of that, and we got to look for a near-term opportunity. With a parabolic move, we expected to retrace back again. So I'm going to move this over here. Now, I'll tell her to move this off. But we did have our basing, and again, we were looking for a short, and it's more or less the same area, but we're looking for the near-term level. There's your near-term level. All we did was have to adjust it a little bit to compensate for what the news was. Again, it was here. And all we did was just have to adjust it just a little bit up because that's the near-term level, right? There you go. It's the same exact risk. All I did was move it higher. Same exact risk. You can see after we got rid of all the news piece, there's where the short came in. Here, I'm just going to move this side, right? I'm going to copy point 1. I'm going to put it on 0.2, and there's the touch. Okay. There's your trade. So, yeah, nice little 45 pips in the other direction. Easy way to play that one, right? Not much to say. And there's actually a student I'm messaging right now that's, having, some struggles, which is very common. I mean, she's going through the same thing that everybody else does about, picking levels. And, I always tell people, it's like, listen, if you're having a hard time finding levels, that's probably because you're trying too hard. Too many people are like, well, is this a level? Is this a level? Is this a level? Instead of taking a step back and trying to find the easiest, most obvious ones, they go for the really difficult ones. And your eyes almost create new levels. And we talked about, one of the things I said was, hey, listen, you should mark off the areas like this. And again, it wasn't this trade. But you should mark off areas where you should, expect profit targets to come in, right? Profit targets is one of the things a lot of people have a very difficult time with. I mean, literally, guys, we drew this yesterday and look at it. I haven't touched this chart. I mean, that's why I was still over there. It literally went 2 or 3 pips past and then turned and reversed right on. And how did I know? I mean, it's not at the bottom. It's not at a pivot. Again, it's a science, right? Again, a lot of this is being able to look and read candles. And this is what price action is. And a lot of people don't understand this. And again, if you don't believe me, and if you're chiming in for the first time today, go back and watch yesterday's session when I talked about this pound dollar trade. I don't manipulate these charts. I don't care. It's not that important to me. Like to manipulate something, to lie, to be like, look, see guys, you should do this, right? I don't care. Again, this skill is something that you have to kind of do over time. The more you practice it, the better you guys will get at it. And that's why we use the 1 to 3s. That's why we look at this, and it happens all the time. It happens all over the place. Patient makes the break trade. Absolutely, Ernest. 100%. People try to have success way too fast, but understand this is something that even when you work with successful traders, it's kind of funny. This picking where targets are going to be is something a lot of people don't ever talk about. And there's 8 million gurus out there, and there's 8 million gurus that have no idea what they're talking about. I love seeing these guys that, there's one of them recently. He's like, I got there's like they have like 500,000 views. And he's like, he's like, I have to come clean that my strategy isn't clear. Well, he's a marketer. He's not actually a trader, but he has a fancy name and he spends tons of dollars marketing to people, and people follow him. And, he even admitted, why stop trading currencies? Because my strategies don't work. But I'm doing this now. It's like, why would anybody follow you, right? One of the things nobody ever talks about is how to pick profit targets. And I've been in the industry of financial education now for 10 years, 15 years now, helping people with this. I've had more people ask me, how do I know when to get out of a trade, than people ask me how to get into a trade. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm in the financial district and I have, floor traders coming in to, take classes on how to trade the markets, asking me, how do you know when to get out? And I'm like, where do you work? I'm a floor trader on the New York Stock Exchange. And you're asking me how to get out or when to get out? Guys, it's not that hard. Understand how to read the candles, but understanding this one, again, we literally hit it. I love when this happens. And again, there's my soapbox. I do like the more obvious ones, and also the 3 and 4 hours. Yeah. I mean, Jeff, the bigger you go, the more obvious they are because it's smoother, right? That's why I tell people stay off those 5-minute charts, particularly when you're new. Everybody loves them, right? Because they're fast, right? But the lower time frame you go to, the more static there is, right? 4 hours is great to start as a trader because, again, using 4 hour, 30-minute, because 4 hour levels, they're easy to see, right? You can see so much chop in here, but go higher, it's smooth, it's easy, right? That's the way to do it. So right now on this, again, as you can see, we've kind of pulled back to that 50% level. It went a little bit past. It didn't hold at the 50. It actually went lower and turned in the middle of nowhere. Again, understanding how to read candles. I think, again, if this one continues to push down, which I would expect it to do right now, even though, I expect some dollar strength to roll back in because overall we are in a better place than the UK. I would expect down here at the 618, probably about the 119 to 95-ish range in here somewhere. Again, this is kind of an approximate level based off of these candles because it's kind of a big bit there. I'm expecting that we're going to find a bottom there with somewhat of a reversal. All right. It's too big right now for me to say where the profit target is. I'd like to see what it does. And again, going into core PCE, I don't want to pick this out 22 hours ahead of time. I want to see more near term. I want to see what the European market does with it. It is a super early release at 8. No, it's not super early. It's 8:30, right? So can you get on there at 7:30 to look where the Europeans took it? Absolutely 100%. And that's what you should do. So me trying to use a crystal ball to forecast, okay, well, I know news is sitting right here, right? There's our news for me to say, okay, we're going long right here because that's where it's going to be. I don't know, right? I can look at it. I'll know everything that I need to know at 7:30, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, half hour before the news, right? I'll need, there's everything I need to see. Right now, so much can happen in the next 22 hours, as it should, right? A lot should happen. If it just baselines right here, it's like, oh, that's boring. I would like to take it for a long, I think, because I feel like right now, I feel like the market is just so angry that the Fed's going to raise interest rates. I feel like if this number is disappointing at all, like I feel like if it shows any type of weakness in there, I think that everybody's like, that's it, the Fed's not raising. Like the Fed is absolutely raising, right? The Fed's absolutely raising. But I feel like the market is so like, oh, if it's weak, they're not going to raise as much, right? It'll be good. And it'll be a weak dollar position or weak dollar trade. Hey, I'm busy right now. You need to wait. What do you want? You want water? You're sweaty? Then take your sweatshirt off. Jinjin is homesick today, and she was cold, so we put a sweater on, and now she's coming to me crying that she is sweaty. Here, take it off. That's all you have to do. Here. She's got red cheeks. There you go. Boom. There you go. All right, now if you get cold, you put the sweatshirt back on, right? So again, I think the pound dollar is a great trade setup, or is a great pair to trade for tomorrow, particularly with the euro pound kind of flatlining in here. Depending on what we have here, I'm actually looking for a dollar week trade tomorrow with core PCE. Like I said, the market is very hateful and the market is very forgetful of everything that even though they've been telling us, All right, pound yen. It looks exactly the same, right? We kind of saw price go up yesterday, kind of price push back down again, kind of gave us another entry. And again, this is about near term, kind of readjusting, right? Readjusting. We were looking for a Harry Potter trade. It kind of gave us a Harry Potter trade, but again, it was kind of a Harry Potter trade, and it was kind of leaving the zone right when the news came in. So if you want to adjust this one for more near term, you can see right now, right? It would not have been out of the trade if you had held it. But if we go more near term because of the Harry Potter trade, your zone, there's your near term zone, right there, right? There's your near term basing at 1 o'clock before the news came in. It also, again, with a smaller risk, this is now a 4 to 4.5, right? 1 to 4.5. If we adjust this up to 3, which is right there, and again, always need to do this, right? 13 for 40. There's your entry. Your entry should have came in. Again, if you got in here, great. You could have adjusted your risk, and there's where your profit target is. So you can see it's the difference between maintaining and holding or taking the near term. All right. And we talked, it's funny enough, we talked about 162.09. It came down to 162. I'm sorry, 162.01. As I said, where kind of, again, that's where the overall profit target was of the old 1 to 3. I said, be cautious in there. It made it down to 162.05. So I missed it by 5 pips. Not bad on pound yen, right? But again, you can see the trade is out. We came back up in that area, went a little bit higher, and is now pushing back down. So kind of the same thinking on this one. I'd like to see this deteriorate back down again. Did I run fibs on this one? No, let's see. Where are we going to get some artificial help in this one? Yeah, right down there. Again, another reason why it's important to, throw other confirmation factors on here. We were getting out of the trade just as these guys were getting in, right? This is a great way to get those guys to help, right? And again, look at that, 61 right at where our profit target was. So yeah, I'd like to see this deteriorate. I think it probably has some issues down here. We may come down and bounce through. I think the next area of buyers probably coming in down here at 161.72. Again, you could, let's see, how much is it? It's 23. It's not bad for this one. I don't love this. It's not my favorite in the world. Again, it did base, but it was a very strong push out of there. So, probably some buyers back in that area again. It could be if we get a concerted push down, could be a nice little reversal area. So keep it on your radar, particularly with all the news tomorrow morning. All right, there. It absolutely could be. Again, how much room does that move got to do? 60? Yeah, we rolled down 60. That could be a nice little pop point. And I think that makes sense. All right, dollar CAD. Oops, I was moving stuff over here. All right, so dollar CAD. All right, so again, this was that old level up top. We can take this off just to make it easier for you guys. You can see, what did price do? And I said yesterday, look to see what price is doing for the hour, 2 hours before the news release. Well, we already knew we had a short trade there, right? We watched it drive down, and what did I say? Don't hold through the news, right? That was the big level we were talking about. We talked about there being more near term. And you know what? Let me take this. Let me put this on there. Actually, it should have been. again, a little bit high. It should have been there, but whatever. It doesn't matter, right? 1 to 3 is right there. So you would have been 1 to 2.5 before news. Okay, this is why I warned you. You're not going to risk 2.5 to make 0.5, particularly going to news as big as an FOMC meeting note. You would have closed the sucker down ahead of time, right? And what did we see during that time? FOMC came out, boom, straight up, and then what happened? You got a parabolic move right back to the downside. That's it, right? Right back down in the same area of sellers. Not much to say, right? I would expect this one to go up a little bit. You're probably going to find some selling here. We are overall high on this one. I like this one high, right? Maybe we box off this, right? Maybe we use this. I also want to see what happens the next 24 hours or next 20 hours. If we can be sitting here. Jen's whining again in the other room. Can't bounce screwing with her. I know that it seems rather close right now. It's only 30 pips away, but a lot can kind of deteriorate in this one. Jen, come here. What's wrong? This is a great area to short. Now, if it does continue to push back down today, there are other areas. Jen, come here. She's crying in the room. Jen, come here. What's up, Jen? I'll need this one after. I'm just trying to get this one ready for tomorrow for you guys. Chip is like the best worst. He's the best little brother, but also at the same time, he is the worst little brother. He is. I think he's throwing diapers at her. Quite comical, as long as you're not her. Anyway, I do like the 135.57. If this can rally up and be up there for price tomorrow morning, I think it makes complete sense. Today, there's not really any driving factors. G2 is not going to affect it too much. Oil contributing to a little bit right now. Again, with oil being up, you get to see a little bit of CAD strength. We see a little bit of dollar strength. But again, if anything, look for it to roll back down again. I want to see where we are. I want to see the same type of movement, just like this, right? I want to see what happens 2 hours before the news. And then if it drives us into a level, that's where you're looking to take it. But right now, not necessarily the best of areas. Dollar Swiss. Here we go. Kind of funny. So we drew this yesterday, and we talked about where we were going to be. So we ended up watching price go up. And yeah, here. So look at this. So we knew that this area was going to be dead because it had hit way too many times before news. Okay. I'm going to pull this back just a little bit so we can see. Okay. We talked about this one being up or down. Okay. The 14 candle did shoot it up, wasn't as high as we liked, and then kind of got front run, came back down again. So it kind of gave us the Harry Potter effect in here. And again, this is I said, listen, the Harry Potter trade is not really, if it's sitting in there, this one did kind of give us a pullback down again before back into that level. Do you want to take a Harry Potter trade there? A lot of times it's not the best place to do it, but what I would have said is we know that this was an area where obviously buyers were coming in. It launched up. We would expect it to retrace. It did retrace back up again, and you can see that's probably where your entry needed to be on this one, into a long position. As you can see, this is what it looks like on this side. And your 1 to 3 is sitting right there, which is kind of right where it was. So news-wise, did this one, it did do what it was supposed to do. The couple hours before news, it drove price down. It gave us the emotional pop because, God forbid, FOMC is going to actually raise interest rates. How dare them do it? We saw the parabolic move up. And again, is it an amazing parabolic retracement-based trade? No. But it is obviously a reactionary move. We expect a retracement back to the origin of the move, which is exactly what it did, which we knew was already a Harry Potter-based type entry. There's your near-term risk. There's our entry. There's it up. There's 25 pips in the other direction. It was a smaller risk. It was only 8 pips. And then came up, and now it's having problems on the high side of things. So dollar Swiss, you're going to play this one exactly the same way. We know that we have news coming in over here, right? Yeah, there's your core PCE price spending. Again, we got 22 hours to go. Kind of see where it's at. Maybe this is the new high. Maybe it's not. See what we do in the European session. Again, you can look to this one to right there. See what we do inside of this time frame. And again, that's where we're going to set the trade on this one. Again, it is high on the curve, looking for more of a short. But again, I do really feel that it's going to be a dollar weakness based trade tomorrow because God forbid it comes in a little bit weak. Everybody's going to be like, yeah. It's like one of these like good is bad, bad is good type scenarios. So, but we'll see. Who knows? Maybe the dollar gets extreme weakness in the European session, and we're absolutely looking to go long tomorrow. Right? Don't have a crystal ball on that one. Dollar yen. There's the date. So 135 is a big deal. Again, we're kind of pushing through. We're not really much different than where we were. We're talking about 3 pips difference in the last 24 hours, and it is deteriorating this morning. Again, European session, pretty easy here. Let's see. 3 o'clock right there. Europeans, what did they do? They took it up. Right in time for news, and then went straight back down again. Right? What news was I talking about? This news right here. Right? Oh, God, it's bad. Right? Oh, God, it's bad for the dollar. And, again, I guess a little bit, right? And that's where the yen shot straight down. So, gotta love that. Yeah, news is right there. So, all it's done is retrace this. It's still in the same area. I do kind of want it to hold high here. We can move this up. We could potentially, I guess, use that. It's not the best level because, again, it is a news-based form level, a news-based reversal. So, it's okay. It's all right. I like it high, but I want to see what it does tomorrow morning. I would expect that this one probably has some issues. Let's see. They should use this one because of a trend change, but they'll probably use this piece right here because it's like, oh, it went down and this is the pivot. This is the last pivot point. Not really, this is, but if you look at this, you can see that we got, right around the 50%. We have buying coming in right there. So it's probably an area. Again, if you are short, look to take some profit in the level here, 134.46. I kind of want this one to rally. What, buds? What? What is sister doing? Right? I want this one to go here. Here, let's do this. I want this one to rally back up again. I'd like to be able to take this one short for tomorrow. Here, buds. Here. Ooh, what's this? Yes, what's this? Oh. Yes, it's a boring object. I'm trying to make sound exciting. Right? Go to commodities. Well, you do it. Let's run this down. All right. Oh, I forgot. Today is oil inventory. Let's see. What? Here, take this. So remember we talked about like political factors and everything else, and we talked about they're making less. So yeah, there's the API oil report. So, is the price cap lowering the price of oil? Is that what it is? We're only going to pay this, but that's. I mean, I feel like, but I can't. Here, get down. Go see sister. Go see sister. Go get sister. Here. No, you know what? I'm not going to give you my phone. I was going to give my phone, but we cannot do that. Hey, Jen. Jen. Can you turn the TV on? Grab Daddy's remote, turn the TV on. So yeah, I look at the surplus, increase in surplus. We need all this extra oil, and again, I think they're trying to crash oil, and OPEC's like, what are you doing? So yeah, there's oil. Oil raising up like this, I would say look for some shorts, probably up in here. Again, you're not going to use the 30-minute. You're going to drop it down. You're going to start looking for some stabilization points. We know that, look, this is a kind of a magical level. Hit. If we can get up into that level, I'd say that there's probably a short there. Remember, it is an 11 o'clock release. I'm not going to stay until 11 today. I'm unable to do that. But a 1 to 3 looks something like that. All it does is take it back down again. So again, with oil rallying ahead of news, again, with the expectation that it's going to be big, right? That's where we're looking to take this one, right? I love it. The California man is selling his cash vanity plate for $2 million. Right? This guy's had it since 1970. That is awesome. Right? I told him I wouldn't sell it for $1 million. Yeah, someone's going to buy it. Is it on? It's probably on the floor. Look on the floor under Daddy's table. All right. So yeah, look for a short in oil. I'm not going to mess with it with news coming out in a little bit. Again, there will be some G20 stuff, but again, it is rallying up very, very fast ahead of news, and that's where we tend to see the reversal back to the downside. Natural gas going to town, right? Now, it did have a nice 50% reversal yesterday at 12:30 in the afternoon, and then continued to drop down. A little bit of a gap and a pullback. It's funny. What? It's not there either? Okay. I'll go find it afterwards, okay? Can you put Miss Rachel on your play for Bud Buds? Is that a power? Oh, it's okay. I don't know if you can hear her crying. So obviously her play was not plugged in yesterday or last night, I guess. Jin, look at Daddy. There you go. All right, here. If I give you my phone, can you be very careful with it? Do not let Bud Buds have it, okay? He broke my last one. Hold on. No, Buds. Sister's going to be in charge. Here, go in the other room. Daddy's got another 5, 10 minutes, okay? Go ahead, Bud Buds. Do not let Bud Buds have it. He'll break it again. All right. So, natural gas, it's rallying right now. Again, their inventory report came out as well. You can see that it already has one area up to 50. Again, there's oh, he clumped down. I was like, what is he doing? Right there. I don't think it holds again. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. It has the ability to go higher than that. Look around the 61.8. There's probably going to be some selling coming in right here. The level's not great there, although the 61.8 is typically a strong level. I think probably up there is more where we have some selling coming in with natural gas. We'll see what it looks like. Probably more up there. But again, I'm not blind. I do think that the 237 is probably going to be an area where it flips. Again, we have inventory report coming out on this one in about 7 minutes. I do know that it's supposed to be cold. I know there's in the plain states, there's a blizzard. I think the last forecast I saw, again, it was supposed that somebody said 75 today. Oh God, nope. Let me see the full forecast. Nope. Never mind. There we go. Then somebody said we could potentially have snow this weekend. Whenever we see that, you do see natural gas pop back up again. So, we'll see. I'd be looking for short trades up in here. Again, if we can make it up to 240, yeah, look for some way to short this one. But where it is right now, running in, be very, very cautious with a short from here. Although, typically news-wise, if you do see this rally this fast ahead of news, especially like inventory, this is where it should turn and roll to the downside. But again, crappy level 1, 2, 3. This is hit number 4. You would expect it to break. And again, I think the 61.8 with the sellers here, much better trading opportunity. Now, gold's just totally flat. So gold, it didn't go all the way back up again. It only went over to here. But you can see right now what it did is it dropped in and it kind of missed that zone. We were hoping that gold was going to be down here for news, and it wasn't. It kind of held firm, right? It kind of just based here and held itself right at that level. It's like, ideally, we wanted it here. We were looking for a pop, but it didn't. Again, they're going to raise interest rates. They said what we expected them to say. We didn't see any news movement. Like I said, gold traders and bond traders have not been as fooled as retail traders in the stock market right now. I think it makes complete sense. It did rally back up, and now it's continuing to go lower. As I said, I think this one continues to go lower. Again, the focus is on crushing inflation. But with that said, right now there's nothing in there. Friday at 8:30. I think as we get closer and closer to this window, right there, again, we got a lot of time. I really want to see what happens from here to here. Okay. 1800 is a target that I would love to see hit. Right now, you can see that gold, again, when I spread it out, it's not really doing much. Okay. I'd like to see where the Europeans take it, whether it be up or down. And once I see kind of where it is, I'll look and say, okay, is there a zone there? Are there confirmed sellers there? Yes, no, maybe so. Yeah, that's kind of it, right? It kind of did a little turn there. It's a little bit lower now. There. I don't know. From what we're seeing on other charts, I do feel that gold is going to be a long tomorrow. Typically, going to these releases, I'm all about going short gold. I want to see what direction we take from here to here, whether it be up, whether it be down. I think will dictate a lot tomorrow. As with any news release, I'd like to go up. And again, maybe we see it. But again, the market seems like it puts a blind eye to anything that is positive for the dollar. And I don't know. The statements made yesterday about we see that it's coming down recently. Well, core PCE is one of those things. They already have the core PCE data. They've already seen what it looks like. And they said it was coming down. So obviously, if it is less, the last inflation thing was actually a miss of the top side. I feel like they would have said something differently. So I don't know. I'm gonna see what happens. I just have a feeling it's gonna be a weak dollar trade right off the news, but we'll see what it does. If we get weak beforehand, then it's the opposite. Everything is true. Look, 0.01. Where exactly we were. Again, what did it do? It actually drove up, right? It drove up off that level. Again, we weren't in the level. We drove up ahead of time to prepare for the news, and that's like up. It went up. It's preparing for the short, and you got the short. So, yeah, kind of what we expected, but not really much difference. Problem is now with this, it's like, oh, the 7/8's down here. It's like, oh, technically we got to leave it on there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, this one is just as junky with everything in here. Thursday, Friday, 3, 8:30. Same thing. I'm gonna see what happens between these two lines. So, yeah. Oh, that's crazy. I was just hitting something. It's like, whoa, what just happened? All right. Yeah. So commodities, not much. I think tomorrow gold, silver will be decent. Oil, natural gas. We'll see where those two go in the next little bit here. Actually, let's see. Where is? I'm curious. What is the minus 60? The crude oil is 2.9. So I love it. We have so much extra supply, right? In oil, it's nuts. All right, let's go over in indices. Let's see. VIX, deteriorating as we expected. Dollar, still doing nothing. Again, high on the curve, 0.01. All the indices are slight in the green. Let's see what we got here, if there was any good trades. Oh, yeah, perfect. So what we mentioned yesterday, what we talked about is if news is sitting down here, if price is down here, if it maintains and holds, we're looking to go long. It didn't. What did it do? It went straight up, and what we were doing, we're sitting back in that same cell zone. For what did you do, Jin? Here, be careful. Um, what did it do? It drove right up in time for price and went right back down to the same price level. So, gotta love it. Again, this is why it's so important to see what happens before news, right? Again, this is a 15-minute candle. This is what it did from 10:45, really, I guess pretty much at 10:30, right? It went straight down, hit the profit target, 10:30, reversed back up, and was sitting back in that same level. For news, right back down again, found the same buyers in the other direction. So, same thing for tomorrow, right? It's Thursday. I'm gonna move this to 30 minutes. It's just easier to kind of let's see. Friday, 8:30, 3. Okay, now I can go back down. All right, as far as opening print goes today. So again, I hope you guys were able to grab this. This is like manipulation at its finest. I love it. I love it. So good. So good. Let's see what we got here. There's your 8:30. No, would have been anything. 9:15 is up. Your 9:30 was red, but there's nothing over there. There's no confirmed zone, no nothing in the overnight. It was already too high. We don't have a confirmed level until much higher up, pretty much there, which is quite a big difference, right? No confirmed level. So unfortunately, nothing in this. There was a pullback to that 9 o'clock 8:45 window where we are now, but I like it green today. That's my opinion. I like it green. Let's see. Do we got anything over here? Oh, by the way, here you go. Drove up. There's your 14 right there. Straight back down again. Parabolic retracement. Your 10:30 candle, by the way, is this green bottom. There's your 10:30 reversal. Drove all the way up for news, and boom, right back down again. So same thing, right? Same trade. We're kind of in this level now. Let's see what we got. 9:15. Nope. Did it hit? Nope. It missed. So 9:15 was right up there, and we just pulled back down again. So we're kind of flat for where we were in the overnight. Nothing in there. No trade set up. And again, it happens. It's not a big morning. Although this one is looking like it wants to do a Harry Potter right here. Come on, guys. I want it to stay green today. I don't want it to go red. And if you're wondering why I want it to go why I want it to stay green today, well, I guess if we do turn red today, it could give us the ability to go tomorrow green. Little feel good Friday with a disappointing number, but this is a little deep. Oops, a little deep, but yeah. NQ is the strongest right now, although Apple, Tesla both red. Yeah. Actually, the way it's driving through, it looks like that's pretty decent. 12,101. bit deep for that. Yeah, it's got to go through the 50. We should get a little hiccup over here in the 50. Yeah, we've broken through. It's got to give us a little hiccup down. It's not horrible. But Fargo opening print, now there's nothing. There's no confirmed levels. Again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The 930 here, you're not really a confirmed level. The confirmed level's up here. So yeah, this one did hit. Right there. So the 945 hit. So it's a little bit after the open. Again, this is just a more similar base trade. There you go. So unfortunately, this one turned. The people that were looking to get in 23 missed this one. But yeah. So there you go. All right. That one's in. Russell. Yeah, look. Parabolic move went all the way up. There's your news. Right back down again. And look, we talk about profit taking, right? We can move this one now. You guys can see that. We can take this one off. You can see that one right now. Look at that. Right? That's why it's so important. Right? So important to understand where your profit targets are. Right? So let's pull this. Again, gotta love that. We're looking for the same thing. Need this right now. We know we have sellers here. Yeah. Let's see. 9 on 15. Nah, we're in that. We're in the level, but there's not. Yeah, we're in the level, but there's no confirmed zone sitting there. It blew through everyone. So yeah, so nothing here. I'd say mark this, but it's probably a short from that level. Yeah, nothing for this one. Russell, not really a great setup on this one at all. Right, 915, 930. No, there's just not much there. But with these being the lows, I mean, again, we do have this level sitting here at the 50. So if we can if we can push up to that level, probably something there at 1928. Right now, there's not enough in here, not enough movement. So, no overnight. Let's see. What was the natural gas thing here? A little bit worse. A little bit worse. And again, that could be because of the cold. Let's see. Did it move anything? Yeah. Little push to the downside. Right? Right back in that 50 level. So we'll see if it holds. Well, we'll see if it holds. Is oil reversing off that one? Yeah, it's close. So, yeah. All right. So that's where we're at for today. Let's go ahead and do our drawing. We got 10 people in. We got 7 tickets purchased. All right. Who are we missing today? Miranda Demby, Will, Ernest, Ty. Sean again. I'm going to call him and be like, Sean, where are you at, bro? Where you at? All right, let's close it down. Winner of today's drawing is... Uh-oh, no Eki again. Look at that. Eki win. Eki's like, it's only Thursday. I can't win today. I can win tomorrow, though. I can win tomorrow. All right. Winner of today's drawing is... Ernest. Ty didn't go big today. Ty, you played this one wrong, bud. Right? Yesterday, you went in with 3. But today, it was for 100 pip chips for you because it was your second win. So today, you definitely should have went in a little bit bigger. Right? You went in big yesterday to win. Today is the day you go in a little bit bigger. Maybe today would have been like a 4-ticket day. Like I said, I haven't downloaded Neuro's PDF on how to, rig this, but yeah. All right. You've made Ernest's day. Right? Well, market is complete. Let's see. Where's it? Leaderboard. Let's give Ernest his 25. Right? There is a science to pip chips. Right? There is a science. Right? I thought Ernest had to ban himself. Nah, he didn't yet. Congrats. I agree. Base hits. Yeah, unless you get both. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So, I'm out of here for today. As I said, crude oil today should be a decent one. Again, it's expected to be big. It's already rallying up again. If that comes in as a disappointment, look for it to come back to the downside. It's already kind of setting up ahead of time. And then again, tomorrow, obviously, this core PCE is one of the biggest things. It's the main gauge that the Fed looks like. Look for them tomorrow. Could be a good trade. Look from that 3 to basically 8 a.m. To the 8:30 time frame. We'll be on right afterwards. And good trading today. If you need anything else, give me a message on Discord. If not, thank you for joining me. I'll be back on at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Thank you again. I'll see you then. Take care.